All you gotta do is be real with E, and we will surely see. Yeah. Hey ladies, hey ladies, we will surely see. Yeah. Brothers and sisters, what's happening? I know it's been a while since I've been on, and had to take a little breather. And that little intro there, that's actually from a song I actually got on my channel here, and I put it in the end screen. It's called Lady Be Free, and just was feeling a little musical this here day. Remember, as I learned from my great brother, we no longer say morning, because we are not mourning. When we wake up, it's a celebration. It's a gift every time we wake up. Cherish if we wake up, especially if we wake up in a good mood. You know, that's why you hear so many of us say, master oneself. I'm telling you. And we can come through, we can blaze through fires like fires we have blazed through, and you know, in our upcoming and this here journey, you know, we stay with it, you know. And I'm gonna bring that subject, and welcome to another edition of EBX discussion. And this is another hip hop heavy hitters, and this is part 5. And I always wanted to give salute to artists, and rest in peace and in power to my cuz, who was a force to be reckoned with, L'Oreal Lyrical. You know, I always honor thy ancestors, and that's even in our immediate families, those in history, music, you know, the great ones, brother or sister, that fought through tooth and nail to get many of us in that great divine space that we are in. So got to be thankful for that, you know. And like I said, I put that in my description. It's for the viewers, you know, and it's a psychological thing when I see that, you know, every time I click on, you know, to create some content. It's a wonderful thing when we really take our content and our gifts in life in general, brother, sister, family, you know, and take it to a whole nother level. So like a lot of our artists did, you know, R&B or hip hop, the ones that's no longer with us, the great ones, may they rest in peace and in power, as well as those in our families. May all of our families prosper, man, and we be protected. And you know, from my family to your family, as I always say. So good day, good afternoon, and good evening. Like I say, I heard from a great brother. Matter of fact, it was Professor Griff. We don't say morning anymore, you know. That stuck with me when he said that. Such an intelligent brother, as many great brothers and sisters in our life. And that can be brothers and sisters in the world, family, or online. Just ask ourselves questions. What kind of circle are we in? You know, do we know who the real ones are, even if it's just a few? You know, it's nice to know the real family or brothers and sisters or general salute that's in our circle, far or near, because it's a good divine feeling to have. And of course, I want to get into some music, and as you can see on my thumbnail and or banner is the sister Left Eye. May she rest in peace and in power. And I spoke on her recently, I think in the last podcast I did, had hip hop heavy hitters, but it was R&B hip hop. Whether I put R&B or not on the title, I'll always incorporate R&B too. But again, welcome to another hip hop heavy hitters part 5. And I'm gonna do a lot of these, you know, because I really love music. As I said, you listen to this channel, hip hop music in general, but you know, I love it all kinds, classical, Jamaican, like I said, I've listed them before, African, neo soul, some soft rock if it got a beat to it and they talking about something, you know. Don't do the country music, as I said, but I listen to the words. They say some real shit in there, as I said, white people's blues. But I like classical music, and I reiterate a lot of podcasts I've done, the intro and outro a lot of times, and mojo music, as I call it, classical music. You know, I like the sounds of it, the instruments. You know, it's good to listen to music without the words sometimes. You know, gives us a sense of being still, as I spoke on in the podcast, after we learn it and went through the what, brothers and sisters, generals, family, the lessons and levels. It's a wonderful space when we work to get there. You know, it's great when we do get those results that we set blueprints for, plans and goals, and to actually achieve and reach our goals is the greatest gift of life. Brother, sister, family. And those who are traveling on this righteous road, some of us already know, and are reaping righteous things that we sow. I'll tell you, I'm always rhyming. It's good to, I know we always hear we reap what we sow, but let's think about the righteous reaping of what we sow and seeds that we sow. It's wonderful. And of course, I got a list of artists, and this is a tribute to Left Eye, one of our most talented, dynamic sisters, and she was true. She was true to herself, and she had solid divine confidence. That's her confidence is what brought me and many other artists and brothers and sisters in the world online, whether you got a platform or not. This is for any individual. I'm just, saluting and honoring Left Eye to be a symbol of confidence, a solid divine confidence. She was a very true sister. And from this research I've done, and many of us have probably done, she was one of those sisters. She was true to herself. She was a force to be reckoned with. Kind of remind me of my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and in power. She didn't take no shit, And as we all know, as brother and sister, that was a great artist. It always seems like the great ones always leave us too soon. That's whether artists or in our families, just in our life in general. It's like the great ones always leave us too soon. So the great ones that's no longer with us, whether they do music or not, just overall, may they rest in peace and in power. And that's in our families also. How I do it on this channel. I try to think and go as deep as one can, above and beyond, as I speak on a particular subject or artist in the thumbnail or banner, which is a great Left Eye was a dynamic artist. And I want to speak a quote that I actually seen 50 Cent said that was real, that I wanted to speak on, and I'm going to speak on Left Eye. Of course, I got a couple songs, and I want to salute to current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. I salute you and thank you. May that great divine be in our lives and protect us, keep us aware and prospering, and just be us to the pit of our soul. So that's my little protection from that great divine. All right. Now I want to read a quote from 50 Cent that I thought was pretty deep. I always appreciate and salute brothers and sisters, whether family or just generals in our circle. If they say good, meaningful things, because words can be a good thing when they're used in the right way and it's coming from a good soul of a person, and they mean well. It can be righteously powerful, Yep. But I'm gonna read that quote. And I got some list of artists, as I was getting ready to say. And of course, I'm going to play a couple songs. And let's see. One of them is, in the intro is going to be Lady Be Free, which the hook I was doing in the beginning in the intro. I'm going to put that in the end screen. I'll put two songs. I don't know what the other song going to be. It'll be a surprise. It'll be two songs in the end screen. But one of them will be Lady Be Free. All right. And I got some other groups that I want to read. Probably like 7 artists, some groups, some maybe solo that I want to read off. And as you know how I do it, be 3 artists before I play the songs, and then maybe 3 or 4 afterwards, or groups. And I want to read this quote from 50 Cent. But this is a tribute to Left Eye. Salute to the beautiful Left Eye, which was very dynamic. And I did speak on her in the last hip hop. I think it was part 4. I spoke on that song, What's Up, with Darnell Jones. Salute to Darnell Jones, smooth brother. And everybody that was in that song, in that video. And that verse she did, and that's what I got on my banner here and or thumbnail. That was that verse she did in that song, What's Up? Salute to Darnell Jones. And that verse she did was dynamic. It was so dope. And it was so her. You know what I mean? And in that walk, when you watch her walk while she rapping, man, the essence of a sister. Beautiful. Brothers and sisters. Beautiful. Her man, the way melanation, the talent and the moves and the grace and the magnetism of melanated brothers and sisters. It's wonderful. The creativity is off the charts. So that's what I got from Sister Left Eye on my banner here, when she's walking through that hall doing that verse. Go back and watch that video for that verse. I spoke on this before, but just marinate on that part. The whole song, not just her, but this is a tribute to her. So I'm kind of focusing on that part of the video. it was just wonderful. I mean, it's dope. And I kept rewinding it and just watching it. As soon as she stepped out that door, and I mean, she hit that walk, that dun 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 dun. I mean, the verse was dope, awesome, fire, fire. So again, salute. And rest in peace and empire to Left Eye. And salute to TLC they brought some good music, some good energy to hip hop. They really did. And they had good songs. They had meaningful songs where they was talking about stuff, And I so appreciate artists like that. And that's what I'm gonna get to, is what I got on my list. Some groups that those who are listening, my generals, brother or sister or family, I think you will appreciate. Now, and the artists that I list, they are artists that a lot of us, because there's some of them are gold in school, so some of us will probably know, and some of them are current that we do know. So I want to read this quote, and again, this is a tribute to Left Eye. This is for her. Y'all know how I do it. So again, rest in peace and in power to the wonderful, beautiful, dynamic, was so true, solid, divine, confident Left Eye. So I'll be speaking on her throughout the podcast. Y'all know how I do it. This for her. All right. And other artists that resonate, I mean, in my opinion, that I think resonated with her, had that same energy. Again, it's like all the great ones leave us too early. List goes on and on. Heavy D, Hemp C, list goes on. DMX. I can go all day. We already know. So, all right. I want to read this quote from 50 Cent that I thought was very interesting and kind of relates to some of the songs and the titles of songs that I'm going to read. Some very interesting titles to the songs I came across on these groups that I kind of researched and looked up, And then again, probably groups that a lot of us have heard of, but I just wanted to dive a little deeper and put a little spotlight on it because they're righteous groups, some of the groups that I looked up. All right, now I want to read this quote from 50 Cent, and I'm going to read a little background on Left Eye and a couple of groups, and then I'll get to the songs. All right, now let's read this quote from 50 Cent, which I thought was very interesting. And a salute to 50 Cent for giving good quotes and positive insights. And, I don't know his personal life and things that's went on in, in Hollywood and all that good stuff. I'm just trying to draw some positive energy. We got to kind of, if a person, not saying what I'm getting ready to say is an example, not saying he bad, but I know how, a lot of artists, we all know things that happen in the industry, but if people do have bad things within, they're doing, life will take care of them. We don't have to judge them. Life will take care of it on its own. Because as I'll reiterate, as I said, we forget, but karma never forgets. That's just a little example of, of the industry and stuff. So I try to let life deal with that part. I don't we can't let it affect us, but I'm going to draw some positive energy from, I'm not saying that to say that 50 is bad or nothing like that, but I know how, we hear things and stuff. So, but I'm going to try to focus on something positive because he do say positive things sometimes, and he can be funny. He can be hilarious. And my son and I spoke on that. 50 Cent can be funny. But I wanted to draw something positive from the brother that he said. I thought that was pretty deep, pretty dope. All right, here we go. My leaders and teachers, as I always say, with a student spirit. All right. He said the irony is that some men will use money to attract women, but hate gold diggers. Ain't that something? And he's so right. And some women use their bodies to attract men, but hate being viewed as a sex object. Ain't that something? It's like a double-edged sword. Yes, I just wanted to read that and salute to 50 Cent for the positive quotes and insights that he has, so I just wanted to read that. I always wanted to give a little insight to the listeners, brother, sister, general, family. All right, now I want to read a little background on Left Eye. And we know the song she made with TLC, so I really won't go down the list of songs, but let's go. Rest in peace and in power, Left Eye. Let's get into it. Lisa Nicole Lopez, May 27th, 1971, a year after me. That's, I'm telling you, 70 was anybody that was around that 70s era, to me, that was a blissful time. I'm telling you. And it's a lot of eras, not just saying that's the only era that was good, but I would say that was one of the best golden eras of many of our times that were born in that era. So, but there are other eras too, because every walk, every generation, everybody's journey is a little different. But we all have our golden moments. So and I think the 70s was a golden time. So, all right, Lisa Nicole Lopez. And I never knew her whole name. That's why I like to go deep on artists, just to connect with them, brother or sister. Y'all know how I do it. All right. Lisa Nicole Lopez, May 27th, 1971, April 25th, 2002. That's when she transitioned. Also known by her stage name, as we all know, Left Eye, was an American singer and artist. She was a member of the R&B girl group or sister group TLC, alongside let me see, sometimes I might mispronounce names. Tiani, I'm gonna say Tiani, Tionne. It's the Tiani, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. Tiani T-Boz and Walkins and Rosanda Chill Thomas, besides rapping and singing on TLC. Let me read those names again. I kind of fumbled them. Okay. The first artist, we already know who Left Eye. Okay, Left Eye. Then we got alongside Left Eye, Tiana. We're going to say Tiani. T-Boz. Okay, we know who that is. Walkins and Rosanda Chill Thomas. All right, I like that. Besides rapping and singing on TLC recordings, Lopez was the creative force behind the group, receiving more co-writing credits than the other members. She also designed some of their outfits and the stage for their fan mail tour, and contributed to the group's image, album titles, artwork, and music videos through her work with TLC. Through her work with TLC, Lopez won 4 Grammy Awards. Wow, she was dynamic, and she was a multitask talented. If I could say all them words together. Wow, she was multitask. She was multi-talented is what I'm trying to say. She was very, very creative, and she was a co-writer. That's dope. Wow. I'm telling you, all the great ones seem to leave us too soon. Just think of what she'd be doing now. Wow. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, she was a female Tupac. I'll put her, I would like to hear, I always like to speak on, if anybody listens to this channel, you always hear that I always say Tech-9. Salute to Tech-9 and his crew. Strange music, excuse me. Strange. But he always imagined artists collabing to Left Eye and Tech-9 on the same track. Oh my, fire. That would be fire. But as I said before, I always thought of her as a female Tupac. That energy she had, and she was true to herself. So just wanted to read a little background on her. And again, rest in peace and in power to the beautiful, dynamic man. One of the most dynamic lyricists of our time. Rest in peace and in power. Left Eye. All right, now I want to move over to the group called The Roots. Now, how many of us remember The Roots? All right, now I'm gonna read a little background on them, and I want to read a couple of songs they did. And I got one more group after them, and then we're gonna get to a song, a couple of songs actually. All right, here we go, brothers and sisters. The Roots are an American hip-hop band formed in 1987 by singer Tyreek Black Thought, trotter and drummer at Amir Questive Thompson in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Roots served as the house band on NBC's The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, having served in the same role on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon from 2009 to 2014. Current regular members of The Roots on the Tonight Show are Captain Kirk Douglas, guitar, Mark Kelly, bass, James Poyser, keyboards, Ian Henderson Smith, saxophone. Damon, tuba. Gooding Jr., Bryson. Tuba Gooding Jr., Bryson. Salsaphone. Salsa, Phone. Excuse me. Sousaphone. Stroll Elliott, keyboards and drums. Man, they played a lot of instruments. Wow. Dave Guy, trumpet. Camille Gray, keyboards. And Ramon Angray, keyboards. Wow, they played a lot of instruments. They were very musical, very versatile on music and instruments. Wow, that's dope. That's why I love reading, going through backgrounds. And it shows them performing, the Roots performing in 2016. The legendary Roots crew, the Fifth Dynasty, the Square Roots. All right. Let me see. Also known as the legendary Roots crew, the Fifth Dynasty, the Square Roots. Wow. And I want to read the songs. And forgive me for fumbling through those names and stuff, but I just, as I say, I like to go through the background. Wow, they play a lot of instruments. They're really involved in their music. All right, now let's go through some songs. They made the title of some. They got 28 songs, but I'm gonna read 4 of them. And I like the titles. The first one is What They Do. And if you just listen to that, you already know what they're talking about. And that was 1960. Let me see. Yep, that was 1996. And then You Got Me. And wow. You already know what, if you listen to that, you already know what pretty much what it means. Step Into the Realm. I like that one. Step Into the Realm. To me, what I get from that is a better part of ourselves. I got to go through and listen to them. I haven't heard a lot of their songs in a while, but I can already know where they're coming from. And just the title alone, The Roots. I mean, come on. The next song is The Seed. Now, come on now. We already know. The Seed. That goes back to that example I gave a little while ago. We reap what we sow, that goes back to that. So, but let's reap righteous things and just bask in the joy of what we sow. Good things, it's wonderful, but takes work, take awareness, studying, staying away from petty things, solid, divine confidence. There's no other way, we study the human confidence and, and study it and master it. And then we step over into that next level, as I spoke on in a podcast I did with Bruce Lee on the banner and or thumbnail. We get to that divine confidence. I spoke on this before, but when it's divine, when it's seventh nature, when we don't have to push anymore, and it just, man, it comes so natural. But it takes work to get to that point, but it's not impossible. As a melanated brother and sister, family, younger or older, anyone can have that power. No one, people who are aware and divine in their life, it don't really mean that we are special when we get to a space like that as family, brother, sister, but it takes work, then, it just, people we do think that are special like that, they work to get there, because everybody overall has a divine quality, but especially that melanated. We have a different frequency, a different magnetism, If we can just tap into that part of us, we can be so much powerful than this little thing we call a human body, because that's what solid divine confidence is all about. As I was saying, we mastered the human confidence, and once we master that, after we went through the levels and the layers, the next level is divine confidence, when we can breathe, man, become aware, and we study what? Mind, body, and soul. Focus on our psyche, the center of our universe, as I heard from a great brother. Salute. All right, and that's what I get from The Seed. I like meaningful songs with titles like that. It's more than just a song. It's a story. It's insight. It's an affirmation. So salute to Roots. Ooh, that rhymes. See, I told y'all I'm always rhyming. But salute. And I need to go a little deeper in that and listen to their songs more. I got to put them on my playlist because I listen to a lot of music. So, but I've been trying to really research and, you know, get some meaningful music in there. That's a righteous impact. And they definitely, that group was definitely a righteous impact. So salute. All right. And I think that was all I had from them. And the next group is Poor Righteous Teachers. Now that title alone is awesome. Awesome. Poor Righteous Teachers. Now I know a lot of us, especially old school, golden school brothers and sisters, have heard of this group. Now I'm gonna read a little background on this from my leaders and teachers, you know, those who've been riding along. Thank you. If you're still listening, thank you. And again, may the great divine be in our life, protect us, keep us strong, prospering, our children, family, significant other, if we have one, you know, our inner circle, brothers and, you know, brothers and sisters, family in the world, online. Y'all know I always got to do that. All right, now I want to read this background on Poor Righteous Teachers, and then I'm gonna get to some songs. All right, here we go. Poor Righteous Teachers was a hip hop group from Trenton, New Jersey, founded in 1989, often referred to as PRT by its fans. Poor Righteous Teachers was known as a socially and politically conscious hip hop group, beautiful, with musical content inspired by the teachings of the nation of gods and earths. That's wonderful. I love that. Wise, intelligent as the lead MC. Wow, that was his name. That's dope. Was the most visible and well-known member of the group Culture, Freedom. We're gonna say being free. Nah, but we say free, take the dumb off. But Freedom provide vocals and production, and Father Shahid served as a DJ and producer. Dope. About Com ranked, that must be the name of an artist. About Com ranked the group's lead MC. Dope. Wise Intelligent, number 5 on its list of the 10 most. Maybe that was the name of the title of the album. Forgive me if I'm saying, because some of these titles, these names, I think in their artists, but I think they're titles of albums. So forgive me. Wise Intelligent, number 5 on its list of the 10 most underrated artists, calling him one of the most creative MCs of our time. Dope. So Wise Intelligent was the name of an artist. Wow, that's dope, man. Let me see. That's dope. All right. Now I want to read some songs they did. Then I'm gonna get to some songs and play some songs. All right. We got they did 28, but I'm gonna only read 4. All right. Poor Righteous Teachers. Salute, man. All right. Thank that great divine for them. My groups like them. Word is Life. That's dope right there. 1967. The New World Order. Ain't that something? Yeah, that was deep. That title alone says it all. All right. Word is Life. And they spelled it I-Z. Word is Life. All right. Conscious Style. Dope. 1996. The New World Order. Dreadful Day. Tell you that the titles are dope. The Essential Poor Righteous Teachers. 2015. That wasn't too long ago. Time to Say Peace. I know, right? Gotta have that peace. Holy Intelligence. 1990. So that was just 4 songs, but they got 28 of them. Yeah, but yeah, I wanted to read that. Yeah, so that's dope. All right, then with some groups I had background on, and as I said, I'm gonna get to some songs, and I have, and that, let me see. Oh, I had another group that I wanted to speak on just briefly. Digital Planet. You know, the group that made Cool Like That. I'm smooth like that. I tell the truth like that. And man, I'm dope like that. I got love like that. I got my family like that. Yeah, I'm just making up stuff. But yeah, salute to Digital, if I'm saying it right, Digable. Digital Planet, you know. Salute to them. You know, great group. If I didn't read them already, did I read them? I think I did the Roots and the Righteous Teachers. Yeah, but salute to Digital Planet, you know, that made Cool Like That. The rebirth of Slick. Salute to them. And of course, we all remember that song, Cool Like That. I love the video too. And it's like poetry. I like them. They were like poets, but deep artists, real talk. Salute to our melanated artists like that. And of course, Digital Planet. And I didn't read any background on them, but they're definitely a hip hop heavy hitters. Again, this is part 5. And again, it's a tribute to Left Eye. And just wanted to read some artists that they had the same energy as she had. And those artists I read, they all were definitely true to their craft and to themselves. You heard what I read about the poor righteous teachers. They wasn't playing. And the Roots, they wasn't playing. Now again, I'm not talking about Nappy Roots. We talking about the Roots. It was a different group than that. So I got Nappy Roots on past podcasts. I spoke on them. But this is a different group called the Roots, which many people probably know. So they was dope. And poor righteous teachers, they was dope. Real talk. All right. So again, salute to Digital Planet, poor righteous teachers, and the Roots. And I got 3 more artists I'm gonna speak on. And I'm gonna give some more insight on solid divine confidence. It's a wonderful, wonderful space to be in, but it takes practice. You have to, be still to oneself every now and then. And I always say, I like to say, how often do we do a spiritual or human invoice on oneself just to keep oneself in check and keep oneself centered? Got to do that from time to time, especially as we get up in levels of awareness or age, brother, sister, general, family, just some advice I wanted to give, something I say all the time. I suggest, teach, and give advice. All right, now I want to get to some songs that I want to play. And let me see. See what I wanted to play here. Now again, thank those for riding along with the brother, for listening to another Hip Hop Heavy Hitters Part 5. And do whatever we can. Forget the human confidence. Let's get to that divine confidence where nothing in this life can stop us. Real talk. All right, so I'm gonna play. Let me see what I want to play here. Let me see. I'm you know what? I'm gonna play Cuz. I'm gonna play Cuz song. And let me see. I think I figured out what I'm gonna put in the end screen. And the end screen is gonna be Lady Be Free, and I'm gonna put I Love Hip Hop. And the 2 songs I'm gonna play is Be a Boss, which is by my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical. May she rest in peace and in power. And the next song will be Right is Right. I haven't played that in a while, and it'll just be back to back. And I'll be back to speak on 3 more artists. One of them is a group. Well, 2 of them are one is a solo, and one is a dual, and then we got 3 as a group. And I'll speak on them when I come back and give some more insight and more tribute to the beautiful Left Eye. You see on my banner. Just look at her. Don't she look confident? So that's why I put her on my banner as a symbol and a divine picture of confidence. Just look at her. She looks just so. And go back and watch that video. I mean, her energy just jumps off the screen. She was phenomenal. Again, like I said about my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical. She rest in peace and in power, as well as the great, beautiful Left Eye. All right. And the first song is Be a Boss by my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical. And she got it in. She was educated. As I said, she was a force to be reckoned with, my cousin. She was educated, and she was also streetwise. All right, so here we go. Be a Boss.
Fuck a bitch up quick. If she thinking I won't touch it, get the money, take it in, get the product, and I'm out. Yeah, you know I'm independent, get my product from the south. Bustin' moves in my heels with the G-string show. The show I get a price. tryna holler, and the bitch talking shit as she walking up behind the calm down. I don't want your nigga eat your feet. You better check him out to see a hoe clearly. But you already know that's why you following them around. Low self-esteem, that's why you set the bar. Cause I'ma show you how to stop. Big boss, big style. Titties shaking off, dancing on my phone. Bitches calling, yeah, we standing like an army. Riding through the hood, the mirror, watching paparazzi. Hey, nigga, I'ma do me. Fuck these other niggas, when I gotta feel me. You pussy pretty hard, bitch, you will get shoot too. Man, you try to how they get it, gotta show them how you do.
All right. Yeah, cuz used to get it in. She used to get it in. All right. Gotta show them how you do. Yep. Don't worry about how I get it. Just to show them how you do. She used to talk stuff. She used to get it in. As I said, she was educated, streetwise, dope. Again, rest in peace and in power, my cuz. All right. The next one is Right is Right, which is actually on my channel. And let me see. I'm gonna get to it here. And let me see. Just give me a few minutes, brothers and sisters. You know, I got to get to the song. Got to mess around with the computer. All right. Thank those who've been joining in. I thank you and appreciate it. And current subscriber. Man, do whatever we got to do to maintain that divine confidence. Man, if you haven't got there, do whatever it takes to get there, whether it's financial, physical, mental, especially the mental. Because you got your mental on point. Man, nothing can stop us. Brother, sister, general. Man, solid, divine confidence. All right, I'll be back after this. And this is Right is Right.
Brothers and sisters, this is Wake Up Music. The road we take, the choices we make, will power the road we take and the journeys that we make. And we enjoy the journey along the way. But make sure we try our best to make righteous choices. Because it's always great, but it's never too late. But never wait too late. Because whether we know it or not, we are in the fight. Brothers and sisters, be as righteous as we can possibly be. Salute! We are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is wrong and right is right. Let's go. We are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is right is right. Yeah. Like a lot of us, Brother East stand tough. Been through some things, but we never giving up. Our spirit's so strong, we so in touch. And maintain our sanity, we gotta have guts. So stay fucking shining and don't you dare rust. And keep our mind renewed and good like what we choose. And kindness is a gift, don't get it confused. And to all my family and my sisters and my dudes, there's no time to lose. Like T.I. said, make it out without a bruise, with righteous tools, a day and night, and great divine armor. We ready for the fight. Rah! We are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is wrong and right is right. Let's go. We are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is wrong and right is right. Let's go. 'Cause we are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is wrong and right is right. Yeah, we are here, we in the fight. What's wrong is wrong and right is right. Yeah, one is real. I'd like to heal and butter inner peace. No one can ever steal. No, we learn to just chill, and that is the deal. And breaking through barriers with divine will. It's the red or blue pill. I take and stand tall like a general, and never in this life will we deal. We love ourselves. We must keep it sealed. A power ignite. Be gone, parasite. Yeah, we are here. We in the fight. What's wrong is wrong. Right is right. 'Cause we are here. We in the fight. What's wrong is wrong. Right is right. Let's go. We are here. We in the fight. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. We in the fight. Brothers and sisters, this is Wake Up Music.
All right. Yep, brothers and sisters. We are here. We in the fight. What's wrong is wrong. Right is right. That's right. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. See, I love good affirmations in song. It's just, man, it just feeds our divine soul, our righteous soul. It's just food for the soul. Righteous things. Poor righteous teachers. That just sticking with me. I love that. I love coming across and like, oh man, I forgot about them, so I thought it'd be interesting for the listeners, my hip hop heads out there, salute something that we all can relate to, brothers and sisters, so again, thank those for coming in to another, hip hop heavy hitters. And this is part 5. Of course, I got to get my mojo music back up here. And, always study, and we got to a place of peace. As I always gotta reiterate, it's good to talk about peace and speak on peace, but we also, when we get to that place of peace, we keep studying, we keep doing things, whatever it is, connecting with loved ones, reading, listening to another great brother or sister that's giving good insight, anything to feed our righteous soul. Don't never go hungry. You can never be too righteous. And this is a way of life. None of us are perfect. We do things, but just keep good, wholesome things in our soul. Best way we can. It just makes us feel better. Like I volunteered yesterday, and how sometimes when we know we're gonna do something. If we have a goal or something we're trying to do. This anybody, reach your teacher, brother, sister, family, just a general thing. Sometimes we're like, oh, our body's like, oh man, I don't feel like doing it. But then when we get there, we're like, man, I'm glad I did it. So that's how I felt yesterday. And cause I had been like the last week or so, my body was kind of aching a little bit, going through a little bit of little aching here, from working, the wear and tear of the body, so I've been kind of like taking myself through this, like the Christians say, this fasting thing. And, I'm trying to eat better and, take it easy. And, these are things we think about when we become aware and we get in those spaces of being still. These are spiritual invoice, as I said earlier. This is the things we think about, our families, the way of the world, ourselves, finances, just keep a grasp on things, especially our body, because you never know. We don't know what's coming down the road. I used to say this all the time, but that great divine, Mother Nature, and that universe always knows. And to be in this world to help volunteer, as I was getting ready to speak on, we have to keep ourselves healthy so we'll be able to do these things. That's why we keep our financial situation stable, stability, so we can help others, so we can have maybe some finances or ourselves to help others. So that's the main base, the main reason we keep ourselves healthy, at least in my opinion. So I've been on this like a fasting thing. I've been eating different, changing different habits, and doing that spiritual invoice on oneself. Because I always say, folks, it's for me too. So I went and volunteered yesterday, and I was so glad I went. And my son had a field trip. This is my 10-year-old Ethan. Salute. And salute to my son, Lord Lamont, which is doing well. And I will be doing a podcast with him this weekend, if he's able to. Because I was in a little bit of pain, and I wasn't able to. I had to get some rest and had to listen to that body. We got to listen when our body speaks. So I listen now. It was a time I didn't, I listen now. So that gave me some time to kind of, gather myself, get myself together, and take some time off social media for a little while. And, get into those deep core thoughts that a lot of our great generals out there do in the world, online, So went and volunteered yesterday, and it was amazing. Had a ball, and man, just seeing the looks on those kids' face when they light up, and they see somebody care. So makes it all worth it. And my son Ethan had a field trip, and I couldn't go because I was in pain, so I felt bad about it. But I went and volunteered the next day. So, and it just gives you a good feeling throughout the day when you know that you are giving, even if it's not a major impact, but at least doing our part in the community, start right where we are. That's my thing, and again, what we put out, say it together, folks, is what we get back all day, every day. That's divine principle, brother and sister. And many of us that are in a stable place, we know this. So just wanted to speak on that a little bit. All right, got 3 more artists, and then I'm gonna salute you brothers on. And like I said, it's 2 brothers and then a group. All right, the first one is Mystical. You know, I miss Mystical, and I think he had some unfortunate things happen in his life. I don't know if he's in jail or not. I didn't do any background on him, but I miss Mystical, what he could have become, what he could have evolved to. It's just there's a lot of hurdles in his way, a lot of things that was pulling on him, and you know how that industry can be. But he would have been, he could have, if things wouldn't have been in his way and things could have happened a little different. I have to do a little research on Mystical, see what he's doing currently. I don't know, but I really hate to see, well, not I hate that word hate, but I don't like to see great artists, you know, the things get in their way, or they're not able to let their craft flourish, kind of like Left Eye, you know what I mean? And that's why I want to do a little background on Mystical and see how really deep the brother really was. I always thought of him as a new age James Brown, you know, shake it fast, watch yourself, you know how he used to holler in his art, and he was very dynamic. Again, another artist. Imagine him and Tech 9 on the same track. How about him and Tia in Left Eye? Man, dope. Yeah, so salute to the energy, what he brought to hip hop. You know, like I said, I hate he couldn't get to a space where he could have elevated, because as I like to say, we all go through a transformation stage, and I think he just didn't get a chance to go through his. It was just so many hurdles that got in his way, you know. So, and I hope he doing, not hope, but may he do all right, because I don't like that word hope. May he be doing all right in his family and those in his circle that care about him, and that divine just be in his life and protect him. Because I liked Mystical. I liked his music. I liked his energy. You know, I like what he brought. You know, so salute to Mystical. And Outkast, which we all know was a dynamic group. Andre 3000 and was it Big Boy? I think it was Big Boy. Yeah. Salute to those brothers. And we know they were phenomenal. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make you out your daughter cry. Out of pop. We all know the dynamic. I love their videos. Their videos is always entertaining. And Andre 3000, I love his style. Big Boy, I love his voice. How it's so smooth. And what's that song he did with Bun B and Pimp C? I'm trying to get chose. One of my favorite. I love that song and the video. So again, rest in peace and empower to Pimp C. So that I always liked Outkast before that song, but that song really kind of put them on the map for me, and I really liked them because of that song. And Hey Y'all with Andre 3000, I love that song. Hey y'all, oh. Every time I hear that song, I go crazy and start dancing. Yeah, but salute to Outkast. You know, they brought wonderful, dynamic music. I remember hearing them in the club. Don't you think I'm so sexy? So fresh and clean. I remember hearing that in the club. So fresh and so clean. Everybody be looking at their look. Everybody think they clean when that song come on. But we all know they brought great music. So may that great divine be in their lives. I didn't read any background, but I think they're still. I don't know. I don't think Andre is doing music, but I think they're still alive. And may that great divine be in their life. And hope may they be doing well in their family. So salute to what they brought hip hop. We know they were very dynamic and different, real talk. All right, and which was another couple of artists I would have to say that were true to themselves. You know, they had that energy, like Left Eye. Salute, which this is a tribute to. Rest in peace and empire. Left Eye, man. I'll tell you in it on my banner, as we all know, those of us that seen that, heard in that video, man, the dopest verse. Well, she was dope in all verses, even in with TLC and verses she did. As you heard on the background I read, she was very dynamic. Man, why do the great ones always leave us so soon? That's just sticking to my spirit. All right, the next one, last but not least, is Tony. As I said, I had groups, and I always liked Tony. And I think they had a few obstacles too. I won't get into it. I kind of researched some things recently, but I won't get into it because I think a lot of groups and a lot of them split up because of creative differences, which I think Digital Planet, I think they split up because of creative differences, but don't quote me. I think, And I hear that a lot in a lot of groups. It's just it happens, you know. That's just a part of life. But thank that great divine that they were able to come together when they did, especially the righteous, like the poor righteous teachers and groups like that. You know, thank that great divine that they did come together when it was time for them to, because you know, it's a time and a place. You know, everything happens for a divine purpose. You know, it's a divine principle. You know, so let's just be thankful that they made the music that they did make, and music we can hear whenever we want to. So it wasn't a loss. You know, again, it's realities of life. Groups break up. You know, so but again, Tony, I know they had obstacles and stuff, but they made great music. And one of my songs that I resonate with, that I listen to a lot, that's actually in my playlist, spending all my time pleasing you. All you ever give me is the blues. Yeah. I love that song. Yeah, but and a lot of their songs, I like a whole lot. They got a conglomerate of songs that I love, you know, but that's just one of them that stick out in my head, you know. Feels good. Of course, we all like that song. And it just was a fun group, man. Voices is just phenomenal. I love their voices. In that song, I was just singing blues. And yeah, that's my favorite part. I love that part, you know. So, and I love all of them. Everybody in that group, you know, everybody that was a part of it, you know. Everybody plays their little part, you know. So I think that group and all the groups and artists that I have listed, whether brother or sister, and of course, Left Eye. Salute to TLC, you know, for what they brought together. Again, they had some meaningful music. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. Love it. You know, we know, man, sending chills to my body right now. You know, I love music, you know, so again, the great artists that no longer with us will never be forgotten, you know, whether R&B or hip hop, you know, any artist of any era that was a great artist, brother or sister, may he rest in peace and in power, you know. Of course, speaking on Left Eye, as I said, my cousin, L'Oreal Lyrical, you always hear me speak on her, you know, and many others in one's family, you know, and anybody's family that we held dear, may he rest in peace and in power. You know, as I say, brothers and sisters, always study, and once we get to a place of peace, you know, do whatever it takes to maintain and keep that peace, man. Let nothing take away what many of us as brother, sister, general, or family have fought so very hard, some of us so very hard to get to, you know. Think about what it took to get us to where we are, you know. Just keep that in our mind to keep us forging forward, standing firm, you know, as generals, brother, sister, family, in the world and online, you know, and maintain that solid divine confidence. All right, so this has been another edition of EBX discussion and hip hop heavy hitters, and this was a tribute, as I said, to Left Eye, you know, for the dynamic and creative divine confidence she brought to hip hop, because she definitely was true to herself, and she was beautiful. She was her, you know. She can't be imitated. As I said about Aaliyah, there will never be another Left Eye, you know. She was one in a million, like Aaliyah's song. Real talk. I mean, every time I hear that verse on that song, What's Up, you know, it just sends chills through my body. That verse was so dope. And her words match her body language, how she was walking. Man, just the essence of a sister, the way she was throwing them hips when she walked. And I don't mean in a lustful way, just in a, like, art, you know what I'm saying? Like a sculpture, you know what I mean? Just, the sister was beautiful. She was. And anybody that loved hip hop the way I do and loved her, you know exactly what I mean. She was phenomenal. You know, man, I told you, I rewind that part of that video over and over. It's just like, man, she just so freaking dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and her true self just shined through. She vibrated, you know. Again, this was a symbol of having solid divine confidence. And as you heard when I read in that background, you know, she was the backbone, not putting the other sisters down. You know, they held their own too. But as you see what I read in that background, she was the background of TLC. She was the strong one. You know what I mean? As I said, it's like the great ones always leave us too soon. So, but again, salute to all artists I read, and brothers and sisters in our family, those who've been listening, you know, I thank you. And if we have gotten to a place of peace, stay with it. As I said, set that tone every day. We no longer say morning, as I said earlier. I learned that from a great brother. I said who his name is in the beginning. We no longer say morning. No, we're celebrating life every day we wake up, man. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Get a chance to be greater. Always look as it's always room for improvement. Always and forever. What we do righteous in the present will benefit us in the future, all day, every day. So you hear me say that from time to time. So thank those for coming in. Stay strong, stay firm, stay with those that love that's in our circle that love us. Keep connecting to that divine spirit, and keep blazing through these divine fires. And again, salute to TLC, and another salute to Left Eye. And keep tabs on our spiritual invoice, mind, body, and soul. And always and forever, brothers and sisters, maintain and keep, and always have a solid man, capital S, capital SOLID, solid divine confidence. Salute. Lady, let's be free. All you gotta do is be real with E, and we will surely see. Hey ladies, let's be free. All you gotta do is be real with E, and we will surely see. Hey ladies. Hey lady, you will surely see. Hey ladies, let's be free. All you gotta do is be real with E, and you will surely see. Hey ladies.